All right, imagine this. You're just, casually tapping away at your phone, playing a game, and boom, you're suddenly a part owner of like a beachfront condo. That's the kind of crazy proposition that Goat Tapper is bringing to the table with their goat drop
It
auctions.
definitely has a pinch me in my dreaming
Clearly.
quality to it, doesn't it? But it speaks to a larger trend. We're seeing the intersection of blockchain technology, gaming, and real estate. It's about democratizing access and creating new avenues for wealth building.
Exactly. We're diving into a world where, your love for mobile games could actually translate into real estate investments. We've got a research paper here on fractionalized real estate, a case study on Goat Tapper, and some news articles tracking their progress. What we're trying to figure out is this just a fad or is Goat Tapper onto something big here?
Well, to understand that, let's break down what they're doing. They've created this mobile game called Goat Tapper. Pretty straightforward name, right? Where you earn points by, you guessed it, tapping goats and completing missions.
Okay. Sounds simple enough, but how does tapping goats turn into owning a piece of a property? That's where things get really interesting, right?
Absolutely. And this is where the concept of fractional ownership comes in. It's like owning a single brick in a skyscraper. You own a small piece of a larger asset. GoTapper has taken this concept and combined it with NFTs, which are unique digital tokens that represent ownership on a blockchain.
So these NFTs act like digital deeds to a fraction of a property.
Exactly. And that's what's up for grabs in these GoTrop auctions. Players use the points they've earned in the game to bid on these fractionalized NFTs. Imagine the auction room, the tension, the countdown timer ticking away, and everyone's vying to be one of the top 1,000 bidders who actually walk away with a piece of the property.
That's a much more captivating image than just owning a slice of pie, which is what I've heard some people use to describe fractional ownership. But okay, so far we've got tapping, points, NFTs. Where do these GTPR tokens everyone keeps talking about fit in?
Ah, yes, the GTPR tokens. They add another layer of strategy to the game. Think of them like an exclusive membership card. You need them to enter the goat drop auctions and access certain premium features within the game.
So it's not enough to just be a, goat tapping champion. You've got to have these tokens, too. Makes sense. It keeps the auctions limited to those who are serious about investing, right?
Precisely. It's like an entry fee that ensures only serious bidders are participating. But the GTPR token has more utility than just being a gatekeeper. It also unlocks premium features within the game, things that can help you earn points faster, which of course gives you more bidding power in the auctions.
I'm starting to see how this all ties together. It's like a carefully crafted ecosystem designed to reward engagement on multiple levels. But from a player's perspective, what are the advantages of going down this route compared to, say, traditional real estate investment? Why play a game when you could just save up for a down payment?
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of what GoTapper is trying to achieve. One major advantage is accessibility. You don't need a huge amount of capital to get started. You can literally start building a real estate portfolio by playing a game on your phone.
That's a powerful concept, opening up investment opportunities to people who might have felt shut out of the traditional market. Is that what the research paper highlights as well?
Yes, the paper talks about how fractional ownership and tokenization can lower the barrier to entry for real estate investment, making it more inclusive and accessible to a wider range of individuals.
That makes sense. It's taking something that's typically seen as exclusive and making it more democratic. But accessibility is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Absolutely. There's also the benefit of diversification. With GoTapper, you can spread your risk by owning fractions of multiple properties, potentially across different asset classes, residential, commercial, maybe even land.
So instead of putting all your eggs in one basket with a single property, you're building a more diversified portfolio, which is a fundamental principle of investing. Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. But what about liquidity? Traditional real estate is notoriously illiquid. It takes time to sell a property. Is that a factor here?
That's where the NFTs come in. Because they're digital tokens on a blockchain, they can be traded much more easily than traditional real estate assets. You could potentially sell your NFT on a secondary marketplace if you need to access your funds quickly, or even use it as collateral on certain platforms.
So it adds a layer of flexibility and liquidity that you wouldn't normally associate with real estate. That's pretty compelling.
And let's not forget about the potential for passive income. If you own a fraction of a rental property, you're entitled to a portion of the rental income it generates, just like any other real estate investor.
So your goat tapping skills could actually translate into a stream of passive income. That's wild.
It's a unique approach, and it's generating a lot of buzz in both the gaming and real estate worlds. But to understand the long-term potential of GoTapper, We need to dive deeper into the mechanics of the GTPR token and how it's designed to maintain its value over time.
All right, you've piqued my curiosity. Let's talk tokenomics. What makes this GTPR token tick?
Well, one crucial element is the buyback and burn mechanism that GoTapper has implemented. It's a strategy used to control the token supply and, in theory, increase its value.
Okay, I'm familiar with the term buyback and burn, but in this context, how does it work exactly?
Essentially, GoTapper uses a portion of the revenue they generate from things like auction fees, in-app purchases, and NFT sales to buy back GTPR tokens from the open market. Then, they destroy those tokens, effectively removing them from circulation forever.
So it's like they're constantly shrinking the pool of available tokens. That's interesting. What impact does that have?
Well, the idea is that by reducing the supply of tokens, while demand theoretically remains steady or increases, you create upward pressure on the token's price. It's a way to combat inflation and maintain the token's purchasing power over time, which is a major concern for a lot of crypto projects.
It's like a built-in mechanism to help preserve the value of your investment. Smart move. So we've got this fun, addictive game. We've got these tokens with utility and a price stabilizing mechanism, and we've got the potential to actually own pieces of real estate and earn passive income. This goat tapper thing is a lot more intricate than I initially thought.
It is, and is a prime example of how blockchain technology is blurring the lines between the virtual and the real. But it's also important to look at the bigger picture, how this model fits into the broader trend of tokenization and what it could mean for the future of real estate investing.
All right, you've officially hooked me. Let's zoom out and talk about the big picture tokenization, the future of real estate, and how Goat Tapper fits into all of this.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so we've established that Goat Tapper is about more than just tapping goats. It's really tapping into this wave of tokenization that's like changing how we think about assets, especially real estate. What's your take on all of this? Is tokenization just hype, or is it the real deal?
I think it's more than just hype. Tokenization at its core is about representing real-world assets, like a property, with a digital token on a blockchain. Think of it like this: your house deed, but in digital form, easily verifiable, and potentially tradable on a global marketplace.
So instead of needing a lawyer and mountains of paperwork to transfer ownership, it all happens seamlessly and securely on a blockchain. That's a game changer, especially in a world where everything's becoming increasingly digital.
Exactly. And the benefits go beyond just simplifying transactions. Remember those NFTs we talked about? They're a prime example of real estate tokenization in action.
Right, the NFTs representing fractional ownership in Goat Tapper. It's clicking for me now.
Yeah.
Tokenization isn't just some abstract concept. It's the foundation that makes this whole Goat Tapper ecosystem possible.
Precisely. Tokenization enables that fractional ownership model, making it possible for people to invest in real estate with smaller amounts of capital. It also increases liquidity, allowing you to trade those NFT fractions more easily than traditional property.
I'm starting to see why people are so excited about the potential of tokenization. It's like it's unlocking a whole new level of efficiency and accessibility in a traditionally slow-moving and complex industry.
It's certainly shaking things up, and GoTapper's riding that wave by making the whole process fun and engaging. But let's not forget, there are potential downsides to consider as well. The case study on GoTapper brought up some concerns about regulation and security.
Right, because with any disruptive technology, there are always, risks and challenges that come along with the opportunities.
Exactly. And in the world of blockchain and tokenization, one of the biggest concerns is security. The news articles we have here highlight some cases where NFT projects have been hacked, resulting in significant financial losses for investors.
So while the blockchain itself might be secure, the platforms and applications built on top of it are still vulnerable to attacks. It's a sobering thought.
It is, and it highlights the need for robust security measures and due diligence when investing in any tokenized asset. It's not a world for the naive or unprepared.
Fair enough. So what does Goat Tapper do to mitigate these risks?
Well, from what I've gathered, they've implemented several security protocols, including multi-factor authentication, cold storage for their tokens, and regular audits of their smart contracts.
Those are all good signs, but what about the regulatory landscape? It's still pretty much the Wild West out there when it comes to crypto and NFTs, right?
That's true. Regulation is still catching up with the rapid pace of innovation in the crypto space. And that uncertainty can create challenges for platforms like GoTapper.
Because they need to operate within a legal framework. But that framework is constantly shifting. It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Precisely. And it's something they need to navigate carefully. The research paper we have suggests that clear and consistent regulations are essential for the long-term stability and growth of the tokenized real estate market.
It makes sense. Regulations can provide investor protection